Hi, John. Thank you for meeting with me today. I'm really excited about today because I've got some exciting illustrations to show you where you'll be totally financially independent and be able to draw money out on a monthly basis and stop paying in. So today before I show you this, I'm going to go through a little review. And last time I asked you two questions. One of those is that if I brought you something you were comfortable with that fit your budget and fit your every need, whether or not we could do business. And you said yes. Is that still true? Good, good. The second question was, if I found a financial solution for you, do you have another friend that could use the same kind of financial solution? Someone that you may want to travel with once you retire? Well, good. And I would like to have a few names for that. All right. Last time we talked about two different battles. One was the battle of inflation and the battle of taxes. And we're going to review that a little bit today. So you remember the rule of 72, okay? So if we have the rule of 72 and we have 4% interest, it turns in 18 years. But if we make that 6% into 72, it turns every 12 years. And if we make it 10 years, it returns in 10. So, we had this scenario of the guy being 29 years old and he had $10,000. And I'm just going to show you this to remind you what a difference of a point or two can make. This guy, at age 29, 4% in 18 years, he had 20,000. In 18 more years, at age 65, he had 40. All right, let's increase the percentage 2%. All right, here he had 40 and it doubled once more. He has 80. 2 percentage points made double. Here, he added another 2%. We're doubling in 160,000. But over here, 6 years, 12% every 6 years. And by the time he's 65, he has $640,000. Difference of 8% made him $600,000 more. Big difference, isn't it? Okay, so we're not interested in how much you got. What we need to get you started doing something so that you have money when you retire. Okay? Now, back last time we talked about 3 different strategies where you can get interest in different ways. We have the banks over here where we can have the the CDs and money market. There's no loss of principal and no loss of interest, but only makes 2 to 4%. Doesn't win the inflation battle. Maybe the tax battle, but not the inflation. Over here we have the stock market. This is what you have to be careful about, which has your mutual funds and your stocks. And sometimes it can make really good interest and sometimes really bad. So it goes up and down and up and down. And it is all taxed. The one you liked was the income strategy, index strategy, tied to the S&P. This is index annuities, no loss of principal and no loss of interest, and it could make up to 12%. And that's the one, if I remember right, that you liked. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the S&P. The S&P is the Fortune 500 companies, 75% of the U.S. economy, like Nike, like Walmart, like Penny's, like Bill Gates are tied to the S&P. Okay? So, there was a man who come to see us after, let's say, 5 or 6 years of being in the market. He had $500,000. And he thought if he could invest it right, he could be at $1 million by the time he retired. But he put it in the market. And what happened? The market fell. And down and down and down. How much do you think he has now before he comes to see us? He has $309,000. He's lost it. Almost half. But if he was in the index strategy, he wouldn't have lost it all. Now, for the market to be really good, he could get some back. We all believe the market will come back sometime. It's just when. Warren Buffett, who's is the second richest man in the world, said it's not the return on your money, it's the return of your money. So, being the S&P, if he had this, he wouldn't lose his principal and interest, and he'd make 10 to 12% every year. He could easily become a millionaire by the time he's retired. All right. Let's talk about taxes. All right. We said before that it isn't what you make, it's what you keep. All right. Things are taxed 3 different ways. They're taxed, there's tax deferred, and tax advantage. All right. Taxed is, say you had $100,000 or $10,000 and you made 10%, you now have $1,000 at 10%. But then they tax it, and they're taxing it at 35%. So you take out $350 in taxes, and you have $650. So what you're really making is 6.5% on that money. So that's quite a difference. All right, tax deferred is things like the 401k, 4013, the SEP, the IRAs, those kind of things. All right. These are not taxed until you take them out. And if you take them out too early, before you're 59 and a half, there's a 10% penalty. Okay? If you don't take it out when you're supposed to, there's a 50% penalty. So if you had $100 million, you made $100,000, 10%. You were taxed $35,000. You had $65,000 left. Still the 6.5%. Now there's other ways here to lose money. You know, who controls this? Uncle Sam controls this. So in 10 years, this could be 69%. In 6 years, this percentage that you're being taxed could have went up, because we owe trillions of dollars worth of debt. Where do you think it's going to go? Up or down? Probably you're right. And then the tax advantage. We have the muni bonds, but the muni bonds don't get taxed, but they only grow 2 to 5%. All right? And if you take it out before 59 and a half, you get a 10% penalty. You can only, and you have to have it in 5 years before you can draw it out. Let's see. You can only put $5,000 a year in, so that's not very good, is it? Okay, let's talk about the insurance. The whole life isn't taxable as long as you take it out of the loan, but the whole life only makes 2 to 5. So it doesn't beat the inflation battle, does it? All right, then we have the variable life that was really popular in the 90s. And it made 3 to 6%. Not very, what do I want to say? Inflation, very good for taxes, but not that. Then you have the index life. And you make up to 12%. As long as you take it out in a loan, it's tax free. So if you had $1 million and it made 10%, you have 100,000. There's no tax, so you have 100,000. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, what if you and I were friends, same age? We both put money away, 100,000, when we were kids, and now it's time for us to retire. And you take out $100, $100,000, and I take $100,000. You spend your money, and I spend mine. You only get to spend $65,000, where I get to spend $100,000. Tax free on anything I want. Pretty good thing. Now, I also heard the other day there was a cowboy that fell off his horse, broke his back, was in the hospital 6 months. He took $10,000 out of a 401k. He got to spend $4,500. Not very good. That I would like that, neither would you. All right. So, where do we get this money? Well, I like Aviva. I like it for myself, and I like it for you. Now, in order to get this, well, we didn't talk about where we get it. Do you have any new money? Did you get bonuses? Did you get an inheritance? Did you get anything that you might be able to add to this fund? All right. We talked a little bit before about tax refund. Do you have money you can set inside? $100? Okay. So you don't let Uncle Sam work all year on your money. You're going to put it to work for you. All right. How about insurance policies? If I can show you what mine could save you better, would you be willing to trade that out for something I can show you that make you money faster and some money you can have? Oh, you might be. How about your 401k? Are you maxing out your 401k as far as you're matching the employer, or are you doing more? How much more? So $200. Okay. So, you have anything else that you could say, you're getting money from? Just $300? And did you have an emergency fund? You did. All right. So we have $300. Are you comfortable of putting that away into something for you? You are. Okay. Well, how about if we put a little short term and long term? Okay, short term being your emergency fund. So let's allocate $50 to an emergency fund. All right. And $250 to the index annuity. Now, which one of these did you like best? You like this one. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about this one before we finish this up. All right. You might put your emergency fund in this. Your 401k would be in this, but like I said, I'd only match it up to the point my employer does, and then this kind of thing would be where I put my long-term stuff. So you may use all of them, but you don't want enough there that you hurt you tax-wise. All right. So the first thing we got to do, and I probably should have talked a little bit about this before. First of all, not everybody qualifies. So there's a gotcha. And it's a big gotcha. And you're not going to like it. Aviva is huge. Huge. And the reason they've got huge is they have paid attention to business. They have 50% of the index life insurance policies. And so they don't take people with a lot of illness. So because of that, you may or may not get this insurance. So there's a few questions I probably should ask you. How healthy are you? When was the last time you were in the hospital? And what kind of medication are you taking? Okay. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to fill out this application. And we're going to answer the questions the best that we can. And we're going to send them in and see if Aviva approves you. Now, if you're accepted, they send the contract back to me and we'll go over it together. Now, Aviva, you know, when you go out to buy a car, they check your credit records. Well, Aviva's not interested in your credit, they're interested in your check, or your health. So, there's out there what they call a medical insurance bureau, MIB. And when you send in your app, they're going to compare your app to that, and it better be close. They want to know if there's anything wrong with you. Because if they get a whole bunch of unhealthy people, they're not going to be number one anymore. So what we're going to, if that happens, they'll send back the contract, send back your premium money, and we'll have to go to Plan B. Now there's other companies out there, but this is the best. So if your health is good, you may get qualified. But I can't say that it will be. And I can't say you will be approved. So we're going to try it and see what happens. So we're going to go through, we're going to fill out the application. And see how healthy you are. We're going to send it in. We're going, you have to approve the HIPAA, and you have to approve the contract, and the privacy policies, and all those kind of stuff. And then we'll send it in. Okay. So while we're working on this app, I was going to give you some information on Aviva. Well, I don't have those apps today. I've ordered them, but they're not in. But Aviva has these booklets that shows you the app. They show you your rating and all about them with pretty pictures. And you can sit down on Saturday afternoon and go through these brochures and learn all about this. Okay. So at that happen, we're going to start filling out these, and you're gonna sign these. Would you okay the HIPAA and okay them looking at your medical insurance bureau report? Okay, sign and okay it here. All right, while I'm doing this, I'm also gonna need your first month's premium of $250, and while you're at it, you can write a check out for Vicki Hall for $10,804. Just kidding. All right, so we do need a premium, and like I said, if you're not qualified, they send that back, and you get it back. They never cash it. So the check for $800 is part of your first premium. And while you're at it, you can write a check out for Vicki Hall for $5,208. And I'm going to give you this little notebook to write down any referrals that you have. And I will wait a week before I talk to him. I would like you to talk to him first, and then I'll talk to him. All right. Now, I'm gonna set you up for a paralegal exam, your blood work, your pee, and all that kind of stuff, blood pressure, and they'll come out and see you. Then 1 week from today, I'm going to set an appointment with you to come out and ask you any questions you have. And if I know something's going on, or if I need another sheet of paper signed, I'll bring that with me when I come. I'm fairly new to this, so, I might need another date. So and that meeting would be 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. Just see that everything's okay with you. Okay. All right. So we're going to meet back on Meet for the Day. We're going to ask all your questions, and we're going to have a good time. Bye.